You are standing on the edge of a narrow wooden boat in the middle of the Andaman Sea. The water is calm, but the man beside you is not. He grips the motor tightly and refuses to look toward the island ahead. The sun is falling, painting the horizon orange, and in that fading light you see a dark strip of forest rising from the ocean like a wall. The island has a name. It appears on maps, in government warnings, and in documentaries whispered about in anthropology departments. North Sentinel Island. You were told not to come here. The government of India has made it illegal to approach within several kilometers. Helicopters avoid flying low. Fishing boats steer wide arcs around the coastline. Even satellites only glimpse the island through clouds and canopy, because the people who live here do not want the world, and the world has learned that approaching them can be fatal. The boat engine cuts. The man points toward the beach and says nothing. This is as close as he will go. The water laps against the hull. In the distance, the forest moves slightly, but you know the movement might not be wind. Somewhere behind those trees, people are watching. You step into the water and begin walking toward the shore. You are about to begin a life few outsiders have ever seen. This is your life at every rank inside the most dangerous tribe on earth. Level 1, the child. You are 5 years old and the jungle is the only world you know. The island is small, but to you it feels endless. Dense rainforest covers the interior, broken by narrow paths worn down by generations of bare feet. The ocean surrounds everything. You hear it every night while sleeping in a hut made from wood and palm leaves. The waves are constant, like breathing. The tribe moves often. Small groups travel between camps carrying baskets of fruit, fish, and tools made from wood and bone. The elders say the forest provides everything you need, but it also hides danger. Wild boar move through the undergrowth. Sharp coral waits beneath the tide. Storms arrive without warning. Your first lessons are not words, they are instincts. You learn where the safe paths are. You learn to climb trees for fruit. You learn to listen to the forest. When the birds suddenly stop calling, something larger is moving nearby. One day the adults point toward the horizon where a distant boat drifts beyond the reef. They speak urgently and gesture with bows and arrows. Even before you fully understand the language, the message is clear. People beyond the ocean are not friends. Strangers mean danger. Level 2, the hunter's apprentice. You are 10 years old and the adults begin teaching you how to hunt. The weapon is simple. A wooden bow carved by hand and arrows tipped with metal scavenged from shipwrecks that drift onto the reefs. Metal is rare here, but when it appears, the tribe reshapes it into blades sharper than stone. Your first hunt fails. You follow older hunters through dense foliage for hours, stepping carefully to avoid snapping branches. They move with patience, reading tracks in soil that look invisible to you. At dusk, a wild boar appears between the trees. Your hands shake as you draw the bowstring. The arrow misses. The animal vanishes. No one scolds you. They simply continue walking. Hunting is a skill that grows slowly, like the forest itself. Over the years, you learn to fish in shallow water during low tide, to spot turtle nests buried in sand, and to track animals through broken leaves and faint footprints. Each skill makes you more valuable to the tribe. Survival here is not individual, it is collective. Everyone must contribute. Level 3, the coastal watcher. You are now a young adult, and the elders give you a new duty, watching the sea. Strangers rarely appear, but when they do, the tribe must know immediately. The coastline becomes your post. You spend long hours scanning the horizon from hidden positions in the trees. Sometimes the ocean is empty for weeks. Sometimes distant ships pass so far away they look like scratches on the water. One afternoon, something different appears. A helicopter circles above the island. Its noise is unlike anything in nature. The entire tribe rushes onto the beach. Bows rise into the air. Arrows are drawn. The helicopter lowers briefly as if observing, then climbs away again. The elders later explain that outsiders tried contact before. Gifts were once left on the beach: coconuts, metal tools, food. But the tribe remembers other encounters too. Encounters that brought sickness and death. Isolation became the tribe's strongest weapon. Level 4, the warrior. At 20, you are trusted with coastal defense. When a boat approaches the reef, the warriors gather quickly. Arrows are prepared, spears lifted. The tribe spreads across the beach in a silent line facing the ocean. The goal is not always to kill. Often it is simply to send a message: turn back, leave this island alone. Sometimes the message works immediately. Boats reverse their engines and disappear. Sometimes they hesitate. That hesitation can be fatal. Arrows launched from the shore travel farther than most outsiders expect. The island's defenders know the tides, currents, and reef distances better than anyone approaching from the sea. The outside world calls the tribe dangerous. The tribe calls this survival. Level 5, the provider. By 30, you are one of the main hunters. The The tribe depends on you now. Hunting parties leave before sunrise and return hours later carrying fish, wild pigs, crabs, and fruit gathered deep in the forest. You also rebuild shelters after storms flatten them. Palm leaves are woven into thick roofing that survives heavy tropical rain. Life here requires constant work. At night, the tribe gathers around fires near the beach. Children listen to stories told by elders about ancestors who lived on this island for thousands of years. The outside world may think it discovered this place recently, but your people have known every corner of this forest far longer than written history. Level 6. The Elder Hunter. By 40, you lead the hunting parties. Younger members follow your movements carefully. You know which forest areas produce fruit in certain seasons. You know where fresh water appears after rain. You know where fish gather when the tide shifts. This knowledge cannot be written down. It exists only in memory and practice. When you teach younger hunters, you are preserving the tribe's survival system. Level 7. The Guardian of Tradition. The elders now trust you with something greater, passing on the rules that keep the tribe alive. The most important rule is simple. Do not trust the outside world. Stories tell of earlier encounters, when strangers arrived with gifts and promises. Those encounters ended with disease spreading through the tribe. People who had never faced outside illnesses became sick and died quickly. Isolation protects the tribe not only from violence, but from invisible threats carried by outsiders. Every child hears these stories until they understand instinctively. The ocean is not just water, it is a boundary between two worlds. Level 8. The Senior Elder. Your hair has turned grey, but your voice carries authority. When decisions must be made, people look toward you. Occasionally patrol boats appear in the distance, watching but never landing. Sometimes helicopters drop coconuts before flying away. The tribe observes but never approaches. Experience has shown the safest relationship with the outside world is distance. The forest still provides, the ocean still feeds. Life continues as it has for generations. Level 9. The Last Memory. At 70, you have lived through storms, encounters with outsiders, and the passing of many elders before you. Younger members now handle most responsibilities, but they still come to you with questions about the past. You remember the first helicopter you saw, the first boat you helped drive away with arrows. Those moments have become stories told around the fire now. Stories warning the next generation about the dangers beyond the reef. Your role is no longer physical, it is cultural. You hold the memory of the tribe's choices, why isolation was chosen, why strangers are never welcomed onto the island. Level 10. The Legacy. One day you will no longer walk the beaches or sit beside the fire, but the tribe will continue. Children will still learn to climb trees and track animals through the forest. Warriors will still watch the horizon. Elders will still tell the stories that protect the tribe from repeating the mistakes of the past. Beyond the ocean, governments and researchers still debate the future of this island. Some argue for contact, others argue isolation must remain permanent, but none of those debates change the reality inside the forest. The tribe has already made its choice. The waves still break against the reef surrounding North Sentinel Island. Boats still avoid the coastline. Satellites still pass overhead without understanding what life truly looks like beneath the canopy. And somewhere in the jungle right now, a child is learning to climb a tree while elders watch from the shade. The lessons are the same ones taught for thousands of years. Listen to the forest, protect the tribe, trust the island. Everything beyond the reef belongs to another world.